Hi everybody, welcome back to Dave's Dishes. Today I'm making creamy Tuscan chicken. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about something else. So, there's something strange that's been happening. It's been happening for a while and I haven't really said anything to anybody, but I get out of bed in the mornings. I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I take my shower, whatever I need to do. And then I go about my morning. Then I finally go back into the bedroom to get dressed, and my bed's made. It's really weird. So I hadn't said anything to anybody for a long time. Then recently I told my wife about it, and I says, I really believe that we have a bed fairy. And no one believes me, and she just looks at me and rolls her eyes and walks away. But anyway, I have a bed fairy, and I hope you do too. So anyway, we're gonna do creamy Tuscan chicken. And so what I've done is I've already seared off my chicken. I seasoned it with white pepper, a little bit of salt, and some Italian seasoning. You can just buy your own Italian seasoning. It's really easy to do. I've already got my pan, so I've got the dredges of everything that's left over. So I got my pan heating up. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna add our garlic to it. And just kind of get that blooming around. I've got my pan on just a medium heat. So you want to get that blooming around. You don't want your garlic to burn because that's just not good. Now I've got 3 large mushrooms that I sliced really thin. We're just going to throw those in there too. So those are in there now. Just want to keep those mixing around, get them all nice and good. Now on my chicken, I did lightly dust them with a little bit of cornstarch. I didn't dredge them. I lightly dusted with a sifter, so just very lightly. So you want your mushrooms really thin in this, because number one, they'll cook down really quick, and number two, you don't want big chunks in this dish. So just kind of stir those around. I can already smell the garlic, so I'm going to turn this way down. We've got our garlic in there, going really good. And next, I have about 3/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Now you can use fresh tomatoes if you like. I really like sun-dried because they give a really nice sweetness to the recipe, and then we just kind of throw those in there as well. Make it really good. We'll get those warming up and all kind of cooking together. And then once you see that everything's kind of, really just nicely coming together, we want to start making our cream sauce on this. Hence, creamy Italian chicken. So over here, I have about 2.5 cups of heavy cream. We're just going to throw that in now and start stirring it in. And here's the rest of it. Put that in there. Start stirring it in. Now, I didn't say this was a fat-free dish, so anyhow. So at this point, you want to turn your heat back up. Get it up there, get it going. Get it nice and warm. Now while that's warming up too, I want to show you what I have in here. I have some ancient Italian grains that I've cooked in some vegetable broth with some butter and garlic. Got that going for the side dish. And over here, I got some steamed vegetables. I just have broccoli, I have some red cabbage, and I have some red pepper sliced up. So that's going to be our side dishes today with this. So it's bubbling around the edges. So we just kind of want to give it a quick stir. It's getting warm. Again, your flame is up on high. Now, what's going to help thicken this is a little bit of that cornstarch that's in the bottom of this. And also, we're going to add in some Parmesan cheese. So I've got some grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to add in, this is an 8-ounce bag. We're probably going to add 6 ounces of cheese to it. So that's going to be really good. That's going to make it creamy and help it thicken up. So my sauce is boiling good. My cheese is going to incorporate really nicely into there. And yep, it's already starting to thicken up, as you can tell. It's got a good consistency. Really nice. Really fast. This dish comes together insanely fast. So turn your heat down. Now, turn it down to low. Now at this point, what I want to do is I want to add the rest of my Italian seasoning. I got 1.25 tablespoons of, again, your favorite Italian seasoning. This has marjoram, savory, basil. What else does it have, honey? Sage. Just a really good blend. It's not a Provence blend. It's just a straight up Italian blend. Really good. So we're going to turn this down again really low. Now at this point, we're going to add in our chicken. So I'm going to take the chicken, and I tested one, cut one open to make sure it was done all the way. And we're going to add that back right into the sauce. And now, what you really want to do is cover that chicken with your sauce. Just cover that chicken up nicely. Now the chicken, like I said, was dusted with just a little bit of cornstarch. So now, at that point, just want to let this simmer for a minute. While we're doing that, I have about 1/2 of a lemon now. This was a giant lemon, so I kind of cut it up to fit. I'm going to squeeze that into my sauce. It's going to give it a really good flavor. Just really get in there and squeeze it through there. Oops. Okay. So once you're done with that, we're just going to mix it up. Get it going again. Stir it up. Make sure your chicken's covered really good. And it's turned way down. Okay. And you can see that just created a beautiful sauce. So at this point, on my chicken, like I said, I salted it a little bit and I used white pepper. But the Parmesan cheese has salt in it, so I haven't added salt to anything else. So I'm going to grab my tester spoon and I'm just going to taste a little bit of this sauce. It's perfect. You don't need any more spice than that. Now, if you want it a little bit more salty, of course, make it to your own taste. Now, in this dish over here, I'm going to turn this off for a minute. Now over here, I actually have cooked off a firm piece of tofu. Just in olive oil, a little bit of salt, and some Italian seasoning. Now, of course, I'm going to take some of this sauce and I'm going to pour it over this. Okay? Now you can make this same dish in here without the chicken. Now, I know this has chicken on it, chicken juices, whatever. So, we're not vegetarians, but we do like tofu. So this is a great way to make a substitution for one of your friends or family members who happens to be vegetarian or they don't eat chicken or whatnot. And again, this is all gluten-free. There's no gluten in any of this either. So it's a really good gluten-free friendly dish. So we've got all this done. Our dish is done. We're going to serve it. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to grab my tongs. I'm going to grab a plate. Got a nice plate. I'm just going to grab a piece of this chicken here. And I'm going to turn your tofu down. Make sure it's down after you get it up. I'm going to put a little bit more sauce over it. And then what we're going to do here, so I'm going to take some of this ancient Italian grains. I'm going to put some on my plate. Then I've got my steamed vegetables here.